Wanted to touch base with you. Just got done doing a little outside workout and thought about a few things. I was listening to the podcast Mark Evans just put up. I'll put the link or the picture in the description below. Make sure you check it out. And it got me thinking about a lot of stuff, particularly when it comes to corporate America and why I believe corporate America is going to lose very quickly. And the main reason why that is if you notice, a lot of people right now, they don't want to work for corporate America anymore like they used to. In the old days, what happened was it was an esteemed thing. It was prestigious, and you really, you got in. You hoped that you were able to work your way to the top and retire eventually and all that good stuff. But what's happening now is people are catching on, right? Money is one currency, but happiness is another currency, and that's the point I'm trying to drive home here. Is that people are starting to flock towards becoming what's called independent contractors or business owners, or even working for a small business that understands them. Because in reality, for those people that are watching this that have had money, right, financial currency, we all know one thing, right? It comes and goes very quickly. As much as we like to say it provides a lot of happiness, money will to an extent, but it makes you more of what you already are, right? If you're already miserable, it's going to actually make you a little bit more miserable. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's the reality of it. If you're arrogant or anything like that, it's going to make you more arrogant. And people really right now in this day and age, what they really want is they just want to be freaking happy. Right? They just want to be happy. Now, obviously, you need money to do that. But in the reality, with the day and age of the internet and things like that, it's a lot easier now than it ever has been to A, run your own business to do that, or B, work with companies remotely so you can be happy and make your own hours and not really have to put up with the crap corporate America, dishes out. And why this is important is in order to be happy, right? You have to have some sort of finances, right? And listen, every one of us that has been at a certain point financially, listen, we've all burnt it to the ground and had to rebuild it. And if you haven't, guess what? You're going to at some point. But in order to be really happy, the point I want to drive home is you need to be able to be real, raw, relevant. You need to be the real you. Right? And it's very hard to do that when you're sitting there in a position inside these large corporations where, let's face it, people are judged, right? They look at your social media pages. They care about what you're doing during work hours. I had somebody complain the other day because I was on Facebook, right, during work hours posting videos. Now, mind you, this is an independent contractor, which I am, and this is another independent contractor kind of criticizing that. The reality is, fuck them, right? If you want to be happy, you need to be real, raw, and relevant. And that's the most important thing that you need to understand. You need to be able to be the real you. And I don't care what people say. Anyone that's in corporate America and is paid a W-2 salary, you are listening to somebody, and you are listening to somebody more than likely you're not thrilled with, but you're doing it because you have to. And what you're doing is you're giving up your freedom for some sort of quote unquote security. Right? And that's your choice. You want to go do that and you want to be miserable, right? You can go do that and be miserable. But just remember, at some point you will be replaced, because the idea behind working for a base pay, right, is you're only good as what it costs to replace you. You're only as good as what it costs to replace you. And what do I mean by that? I mean that if you go and you're being paid $100,000 a year on a salary, which is a lot, okay, that's a lot in corporate America. If you're being paid $100,000 a year on a salary and a bunch of people are able to come in and perform better for cheaper, the company is going to eventually pass off and start hiring people for that. It's business. That's how they work. They're hedging their bet. They're giving you a dollar amount and they're betting on making money on that dollar amount that they're giving you. And if that's the life you want to lead, of constantly having to prove yourself or constantly having to quote unquote answer to management, by all means, go ahead and do so. But it's just not for me. Right. And I think most people, if you had the 20 seconds of courage to really stick up for yourself, to go out there and try to create additional income, maybe outside of your W-2 position, maybe at nights and on weekends and things like that, I think you'll see very quickly with the internet, specifically everything. I mean, everything is available. Anything you want to learn is on YouTube. Right? You want to learn how to start an LLC. You want to learn how to get a bookkeeper. You want to learn how to, do the simplest things. You can do that. And I'm encouraging you that if you've been thinking about it, to take that little step and start doing it, because the business owners, right, the people that are out there being able to do what they want and be able to be real about the issues that they're facing, raw, relevant people, just like them. There's millions of people out there across the world, right, that you can now connect with, where back in the day, I mean, if you were a top producer and you literally looked around and you sometimes didn't have people to talk to because there was no social media, interact with people that were doubling your production. You were forced into this local ecosystem where now the idea is that you can go out there and you can literally network with people that are doing 4 times the business that you are, right? So I'm gonna stop babbling on and on, but I just wanted to shoot that because it was a big thing today that kind of like clicked in my head. I'm like, man, most of these 99% of these people that are working for any type of business and being paid a W-2 to have to listen to anybody, I'm telling you, they are just not happy. They're not telling you, they're just not happy people. Right. So I encourage you that if you want to get out there and you want to start a business, you do it on the side in the beginning if you have to maintain that income coming in. But if you take that off time and you really hone in on it and, learn, you're going to be surprised at how quickly that part-time money is going to start to equal your full-time income. And then you can get to the point where you can say, hasta la vista, because you don't have to work or listen to anybody anymore. And I think that's what's going to drive happiness. And happiness is the new currency. So I appreciate y'all. I'll talk soon.